can do, and I don't go to bed until 3 o'clock at night. My phone number is 298-7221. You know, if you got something you want to talk about, if you've got a good suggestion, Mr. Manning's going to talk to you before you leave here, and I got the utmost, I got respect for him, the utmost confidence in him, and I think you guys are going to really benefit. And I know he's starting out on. He's been. I told him. I said, you've been to Afghanistan, Kuwait, Iraq. You might have been to Martin County. But hopefully we can all get together, right? We got to do this together.
Better days are coming now. I look at Miss McCoy sitting here, and I know she pulled her hair out the same as I did with my son. I said, and I see a childhood friend back there. I see love her there. Becky, we never do anything for you all. And like I said, 9 times out of 10, it might be I don't have the knowledge that I should have. So just pick up the phone and say, hey, Donetta, what's going on? And if I don't know, we'll run together. I'm mom, okay?
Well, like I said, and I'm learning. I mean, I'm learning weekly. There's things that I'm learning, like, you know, with your money allocation.
But we are in a tough spot. We are in a very tough spot. And the only way we can get out of this is together.
I'd like to segue a little bit into Ms. Rose doesn't want to do this. But, I think it'd be good if you could just introduce yourself and speak just a few words to the group. You sit here and listen to us long enough.
Yeah.
Well, good evening, Martin County.
Good evening.
I'm Steve Meadows, and the board has found favor and appointed me your superintendent. And I hope to become your superintendent. I know a couple of comments have been that our superintendent, I want to be your superintendent. I want to be your partner. I will say that, you know, I'm a champion of public education. I'm a champion, I advocate public education. I don't have anything personal against homeschooling or charter schools. I think just as in any business, I think we can learn from our competitors, and we better learn or we're going to go extinct. But I champion public education, and we are a public school. We're not a state school, we're not a government school. I don't want to become a government school. I don't want to become a state school, as our neighbors are to the south. I'm geographically challenged here, but you know, when the state comes in and takes over a district, they become a state school. It's a government school. That's why I want to emphasize public school. And from that, we need to take care of our house. And we are in a financial predicament. We break the golden rule, as many do today in our nation and in our society. We spend more than we bring in. It's just a golden rule. You can't do that. So, you know, to get at the probably the meat at why you're here and concerned is that, are you going to be taken care of as a public school employee, whether you're a teacher or a bus driver or cook or custodian or instructional assistant or employee of this district, a citizen of this community, you know, your taxman. I don't know if we have anybody here. Is anybody here is not an employee of the district? Stakeholder. We're all part of this together. Pay taxes. Just because you're not employed doesn't mean you're not part of the school system. But we have some significant challenges in front of us. And I do want to say this about teachers. That's probably most of the folks are here tonight because of the pay freeze. You know, that teachers are the single most determining factor of student success as a classroom teacher. It would be not good business to undercut or cut the knees out from other teachers. Teachers can't do their jobs without a supporting cast. Superintendent, board members, bus drivers, cooks, all are important and equally important to the process of education and educational experience for our kids. But at the end of the day, the teacher, the classroom teacher, the quality of the classroom teacher is the single most determining factor in student success. You will hear that come from my lips many times. I can say it backwards. I've said it many times because it's the truth. It's the principle by which a lot of my decisions and thinking and advice and professional advice to the board, that's the prism I look through, is that who's with our students the most? The teachers. It's the quality of that teacher that will determine most the success of our students. So we want to take care of it. But we also have some hard decisions to make. I am the professional advisor to this board. They may not always accept my advice. but I still must give that advice. Over the next few days and weeks and months, hopefully years, I hope to work hard to not only gain but keep your trust and confidence in not only me as an instrument of the board, but as a reflection of this board. And certainly you know these board members as neighbors, childhood friends, business people, teachers, colleagues. I hope to fill that same mold. And working together, I know we can turn this around. Folks, please remember, we're in a tough place financially. And speaking to the pay freeze, although the board can seek advice from anyone at any time, we're in a very precarious time of transition of leadership in your school district with a new superintendent. I certainly do not want to give any impression of stepping over the line or being influential in any unethical or illegal way, or confusing, I have that effect as well, bringing more confusion to the process already. I'm all about solutions. It's easy to sit up here and say we're broke, right? I mean, that's the easy way.
Yeah.
Huh? We're 170,000 in the hole, or we're 300,000 in the hole. The tough thing is going to be finding the solutions. I've always thought we're either part of the solution or part of the problem. And when it comes to freezing pay, I just want to say this. We can always go back after we do sit down and we look a little deeper. I've looked at the documents for the last 6 weeks, not on my previous county's time, but on my time. I'm not double dipping here with anyone, but I've asked some of the folks here at Central Office. I've got a lot of homework, and I've done a lot of analysis and looking over the data, whether it's financial or personnel. There's a lot of information to go over. It's going to take more than just me and the board members, but it's going to take representatives of the teachers, representatives of classified, and not just those people, but anybody who wants to bring a solution and be a part of the solution to the table. We're going to open that up. But it's going to take time, not a protracted time, but it's going to take some time for me to sit down with the finance officer, Ms. Tammy Sloan, and this board to go over the details, rather than in all the data that I have been given hard copy or by email. And once I have access to Munis and I'm able to cross-reference, there's a little bit more flexibility. We'll be able to determine where we can cut. And some of the administrators in the room, I think I saw Dave, that's the one I remember, and make this go. Okay, once I look at people's, the school building's budgets, and what you have budgeted and what we think we're going to spend and the personnel, then we may be able to make some cuts. But folks, you know as well as I do, when the budget comprises 70-75% is personnel, guess what is the biggest target? Personnel. We can always, the board can, and my advice is open, is transparent. The board can always go back and retroactive, give the increase, or it can start at any given point in the year. But without that freeze, we know that we're going to be at least $170,000 in the hole. And we're not even talking about the contingency. How much contingency is the district supposed to end with?
260,000.
2% of your budget. And a discussion last meeting was if you don't meet that 2%, the state will look and ask questions. But if you don't have the 2% at all and you're further in the red, they won't talk. They'll come in. That's the direction that we're going. That's the direction of our district right now. We are on a slippery slope financially, and if we can't clean our house, we can't do it together. I know we can. I have every confidence. I know that we can. But we're going to have to do it together, because if we can't, then we're no longer going to be a public school. We're going to be a state school. And they're going to come in and do it for us. And that's, I think it's already been said here, we're going to start losing people. People. Teachers, bus drivers, classified. And that is a slippery slope of people start leaving your district. Kids start leaving your district. And it just compounds. It's a snowball. You lose your ADA, you lose your attendance, you lose all of those things, and it just continues to go down. You lose your tax base, people leave, property assessments go down, whatever. So I know that we can. There's enough people in this room with enough intelligence to stop this thing and fix it and go in the right direction. I mean, teachers in the classroom, I hope we can do that together. If I was in church, I'd say amen.
Amen. Amen.
The thing you gotta do is be able to, I hope that I can gain and keep your trust.